Hello, wrestling fans. Welcome to another episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic for May 30th, 2022, Memorial Day. Hope everyone is having a good holiday today. Just remember that today is remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice to defend our freedom. On today's episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, episode 287, gonna talk about AEW Double or Nothing from last night pay-per-view. But first, before I get to the pay-per-view recap, just gonna get to a little bit of news, one news story anyway, that yesterday during the day, or the day before actually, MJF no-showing the Double or Nothing Fan Fest, and then it was reported that he booked a flight for out of Vegas, and then the rumors started that he wasn't going to appear at Double or Nothing the next day, and then it showed up online that he did not leave Vegas, and then during the day yesterday, there were reports about him not being at the T-Mobile Arena, and then he did end up showing up. And now, on to the pay-per-view. AEW Double or Nothing live from Las Vegas, Nevada at the T-Mobile Arena. The commentators for tonight, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, and for a couple of matches, Taz. And Caprice Coleman. And it starts off though with the buy-in, and we see the team of Hook and Danhausen in action and getting the win in this one. And the main card of the pay-per-view starts with MJF versus Wardlow. Yep, MJF was there and it was kicking off the show. This match was pretty much one-sided. Wardlow with the powerbomb sympathy getting the win. 6 minutes 39 seconds. And then MJF had to be stretchered out. Next up, two of the best tag teams in wrestling, the Hardys and the Young Bucks. I thought this one was a great match. These two teams definitely left it all in the ring in this one. But it is the Hardys who are victorious when Jeff gets the win for him and his brother. 19 minutes 17 seconds. It is now time for the TBS Championship match. Jade Cargill and Anna Jay. And in this one, we see Stokely Hathaway make an appearance. And Jade Cargill retains the TBS Championship at 7 minutes 26 seconds. And then after the match, we see the former Ember Moon, Athena, make her way to the ring, make her AEW debut. Tag team action up next at Double or Nothing. The House of Black taking on the Death Triangle, the Lucha Brothers, and Pac. I thought this was a really good match here. And the finish, we see the lights go out once again, And then Julia Hart is in the ring and spits the black mist into the eyes of Pac, allowing the House of Black to get the victory. 15 minutes 31 seconds. Julia Hart now joining the House of Black. It is now time for the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament Men's Finals. Adam Cole taking on Samoa Joe. And this one was a pretty good match. I mean, I have to admit, I think it could have been a little better, but still a good match between these two great wrestlers. Adam Cole is victorious in this one to win the first ever Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournament. Now it is time for the women's finals of the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, taking on Ruby Soho. But first, gotta talk about the entrances. We have Dr. Britt Baker coming out with Rich Ward playing the guitar from Fozzy. And Ruby Soho gets an entrance from Rancid. And really good match here. Dr. Britt Baker wins this one, 14 minutes, 51 seconds. So now we have both winners of the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament. And after the match, Adam Cole and Dr. Britt Baker put on the special Owen Hart shirt that is available at shopaew.com. And Martha Hart is there to present them. First she shows the Owen Hart Cup, and then they even have 2 championships. One for the men's tournament, one for the women's tournament. And she gives them both to Adam Cole and Dr. Britt Baker. Very good to see here. Martha Hart thanked Tony Khan, AEW, Pro Wrestling Tees, the producers from Dark Side of the Ring, and all the fans. And I was listening to the wrestling post show, and Wei Ting said something that I agree with, that this was probably the closest that we could get of a WWE Hall of Fame speech or anything like that. So this was definitely good to see, a good way to honor Owen Hart. And next up, we have a mixed trios match with the AEW TNT champion Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and Paige Van Zandt. And taking on the team of Frankie Kazarian, Sammy Guevara, and Ty Conti. I thought this was an okay match here. Kazarian and Guevara do not get along at all in this match. And then Kazarian at one point has enough of him, shows him his finger, and then goes out the ring, but then he gets back in. Sky gets the win, pinning Kazarian 12 minutes, 41 seconds. And due to the stipulation, Frankie Kazarian and Sammy Guevara can no longer get any shots at the TNT Championship. Double or Nothing continues now with Kyle O'Reilly taking on Darby Allin. Good match, I thought. Maybe it could have been a little better, but Kyle O'Reilly getting the win at 10 minutes, 46 seconds. The AEW Women's Championship is now on the line as Thunder Rosa defends against Serena Deeb. Really good match between these two. Thunder Rosa retains the championship, 16 minutes, 43 seconds. It is now time for Anarchy in the Arena. the Blackpool Combat Club and Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful taking on the Jericho Appreciation Society. First, the entrances, Jericho Appreciation Society making their way to the ring looking like a boy band or something from the 90s or early 2000s. And then this one, the Blackpool Combat Club make their way through the crowd, do Moxley's usual entrance. And this one was definitely anarchy. It was wild all over the T-Mobile Arena. Bloody, chaotic, but the finish sees during the match the top rope was undone, and then we see Jericho and Hager as Jericho has a submission locked in. Hager chokes out Danielson with the top rope, and then Aubrey Edwards calls it 22 minutes 39 seconds. I'm sure this definitely isn't the last we've seen of Jericho and Kingston. I don't think anyway. Well, Kingston could feud with Bryan Danielson in the future, though. We've seen Kingston get the gas, start pouring it on Jericho, but he was also pouring it on Danielson. He got mad about that, slapped Kingston, and then Moxley tried to break him up. So wouldn't be surprised to see a match with those two in the future. And next we see Andrade Helio in the back, and he brings in somebody making his AEW debut, a former Ring of Honor World Champion, Rush. In the back, Lexi is with the Men of the Year. And then Dante Martin comes in, challenges Scorpio Sky for the TNT Championship. And it is confirmed that we will see that match this Wednesday night on Dynamite from Los Angeles. The AEW World Tag Team Championships are on the line next as Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, representing Team Taz, take on Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, Swerve in his glory, against the defending AEW World Tag Team Champions, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, the Jurassic Express. I was kind of surprised about this match, actually. Not that I thought it was going to be a bad match or anything, but it was better than I thought it was going to be, actually. In the end, Jungle Boy pins Swerve to get the win for his team to retain the tag team titles. 17 minutes, 16 seconds. Very good match here. Definitely a solid tag team wrestling match. And now, like Mark Henry would say on Rampage, it's time for the main event. For the AEW World Championship, CM Punk taking on the challenger, or the champion, Hangman Adam Page. Great main event, I thought. I thought the build-up for this match has been very good. Was looking forward to see these two go at it here, and they definitely did. In the end, we see Hangman get the AEW World title. Looks like he's about to hit Punk with it, but he's conflicted, thinks about it for a little bit, finally throws the title down, goes for the buckshot lariat, but Punk counters, hits the GTS for the win. 1, 2, 3. New AEW World Champion, CM Punk. Like I said, really good match here. And nothing against CM Punk at all. But I have to admit, I was actually hoping that Hangman would have retained the world title in this one. Like I said, nothing at all against CM Punk, but definitely a big Hangman fan. It will be interesting to see who Punk's first challenger will be as world champion. Will Hangman get a rematch? Will there be a new challenger? I don't know what for sure is going down with MGF. He could be a challenger one day. That would be a great main event for the world title at one of the pay-per-views, MJF versus CM Punk. Or who knows if he'll have any title defenses, one pay-per-view coming up, the Forbidden Door, June 26th. The joint pay-per-view with New Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't know if he'll be defending the World Championship on that pay-per-view or not. We'll just have to wait and see, but maybe a couple Dynamites. Because the next pay-per-view, September, All Out, usually Labor Day weekend. We'll have to see who his challenger at All Out will be, and maybe before then if they have a special episode of Dynamite before then. And especially if it's June 29th when AEW makes its debut in Detroit, Michigan at the Little Caesars Arena, which I will be attending. So that was AEW Double or Nothing 2022. And so overall, I thought it was a really good show. I wouldn't say, I don't know if I would really rank it right at the top of best AEW pay-per-views, but I thought it was a really good show. And what did you think? Let me know what you think in the comment section. This podcast is also available in audio form on YouTube, and of course, pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts. Spreaker is the main one you should listen to it on, though, but there's also Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, CastBox, Podcast Addict, iHeartRadio, and much more. So anywhere you listen, if there's a comment section, leave your comment, leave your thoughts on AEW Double or Nothing. What was your pick for match of the night? Who do you think had the best performance on the show? I want to hear from you. Or you can email at 360wrestlingpodcast@gmail.com. As I mentioned, today, Memorial Day, so of course that means it is Monday. Tonight we have Monday Night Raw on USA. And like I mentioned, the news, MJF, the rumors swirling about him, and as I talked about, him being stretchered off, and I hear that he might be taking a little bit of time off. So, or at least this Wednesday night on Dynamite, he probably won't be on, which makes sense after being stretchered off. And in a little bit of news, over the weekend, Charlotte Flair and Andrade got married. I saw that Ric Flair posted some videos and stuff on his Instagram. And The Rock's daughter, Simone Johnson, who signed with WWE in February 2022 when she was 18, she's still training, but she has a new ring name now, which is Ava Rain. She tweeted that, so maybe soon we might see her make her debut on NXT 2.0. And Tony Khan refuses to comment on the MJF situation at the Double or Nothing media scrum. And Alberto Patron, the former Alberto Del Rio, I hear, congratulated CM Punk on Twitter. And Devon Dudley is coming back to work in WWE as a producer or agent, whichever you want to call it again. He took some time off due to health issues in late 2022, but he's coming back now at NXT on June 15th, which is good news. Big fan of Devon Dudley. And I think that is all about all of the news that I have. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, to this episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, episode 287. And Raw tonight. Hope to be back soon with another episode. I'm not going to say for sure when, because how bad I am, you never know when I'm going to do an episode. I know I need to get better and have a set time, set day, a schedule. Because I normally even like schedule and routine, but for some reason with the podcast, I just do it whenever I feel like it. But thank you for tuning in. Remember, 360 Wrestling Podcast on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram. Email 360wrestlingpodcast@gmail.com if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions. Or like I said earlier, you can let me know what you thought of AEW Double or Nothing last night. What was your favorite match? Which wrestler had the best performance? Anything you want. 360 Wrestling Podcast at gmail.com. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day. Thank you. Until next time, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.